February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Ms. Lana Skye, please take the stand? Ms. Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Ms. Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no. No matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. What? That was not really on the table, Emma. No one's doubting that you're gonna be her sister. There's a silence. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. And if I'm remembering, she sent us, in the intermission, the 2 rules of evidence law, which were... It can't be shown without approval of the police department, and unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay. We're good. We're ready to do this. Gant and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Can I get some music? This is very quiet. There we go. Worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth. Hold it. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seemed I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. Okay, so I broke off the tip of the knife. Why? You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you plant the knife? But why did you do that? Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Ms. Skye fabricated the knife. The tip of the weapon found buried in his body would be all the proof we needed. What is that supposed to mean? According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right? Yes, and leaving it at that point might point the... Yes, and leaving it at that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound? Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. I'm gonna press on that one too. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Okay, so we're gonna just keep pushing everything, because... I mean, obviously the whole thing is a contradiction, but, like, the facts that we have are minimal. How many years, exactly? Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years? Detective Gant and Detective Skye were legendary partners. So legendary, even I heard of them in my swiveling chair. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good, coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why there's no truth to this blackmail theory. But think about it, Ms. Skye. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. Okay, I think I gotta press her on rearranging the crime scene again, and the moving the body part. Because I think somewhere in there will be a contradiction. Because it's very interesting, Oh, okay, so no. That's... Or maybe it's this one? Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's... Alright. When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. Pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan. Okay. Oh, that changes her testimony? Oh, geez, okay. Pieces of the jar, you mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. The jar! The jar! In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So... When you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there is more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I completed this fabrication completely alone. Okay. So... I have to assume that that's not the well... There's layers of everything is a lie! How do you prove only part of it is a lie when everything is a lie? I'm gonna start with this? Yeah, there we go. Okay. It was the obvious. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring everyone's attention to a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Oh. That's a relevant point. But wait. You bet you could write a name on a shattered jar? I mean, I'm sure you could, Kiki, but... Order. I think the big problem here of what this, like, breaks my brain on, then, is... What... So if he wrote Emma on the jar in blood before he died, but the jar didn't fall on anybody, what on earth happened? Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor. Actually, no, hold on. I'm gonna look at the doodle. Because this... Because then it looks like the jar is, like, falling on the struggle. But that implies... that implies something that I can't quite piece together with my brain. It almost implies that there was something else going on as to why there would be a need to write a name. I don't know. Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. Maybe we need to watch that videotape again, chat. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in blood. Actually, wait. I think I can turn our sound effects back up. I think we were on 2. I know I had him turned down when we were interviewing Meekins in his frickin' megaphone. Okay. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I was sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Should definitely go watch it again, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. You know what, Potato? You're right. You're right. Wait, we don't get the music? Oh, this is a scam. Never mind. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I don't want to watch it without the music. We need the music for the Blue Badger. I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think that Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. I have to sing the music? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I gotta recall it in my mind, right? Like, hang on. I can do this. Just sing the first thing in my head. No. The music is important to this scene because it's like the do 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 or something like that. I don't remember how it goes. Do 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 do. And yeah, that's what I got. I can't do it. I don't remember the tune. Cause it keeps going like that, but I don't. It's not the same. It's not the same. I'm not. My voice is just not as complicated as MIDI generated music for a early 2000s PC and DS game. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. That was good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'll be here all morning. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. Okay, let's see. So the jar was already broken. It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. It certainly looks as feeble as the defense's case, but not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that helps my case. Lana, you do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Okay, I realize that I'm the fool here. I'm just now noticing that... So at the very bottom of the screen, her, like, satchel has all these little, like, potions and jars sticking out of it. It's so cute! I love Emma. She's so good. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. I'll write that down. I think that's Rule 11. A detective must always be prepared. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time. It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up. After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the office of the prosecutor, on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. I think I've finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Okay, we're gonna press this one. What happens if the detective is not prepared? 1 million years dungeon. And you have to turn in your badge and your toast. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, but I'm sure I got them all. Okay. Is the evidence for that, again, just the jar? Because I can't flip this over and see the list of evidence anymore. I'm just gonna present the jar again. This seems like it's not the correct way to go. But I can't see what else is. Yeah. This guy, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. She really didn't know. Okay. So that helps clear things up in my mind here. The accident is not that Emma bumped Marshall into the statue and then, like, Marshall killed Dark and, like, there's this whole other stuff going on necessarily. As much as it is that Gant was the one who was doing something, and that's why there's the torn off fragment of his clothing with her prints. I'm not entirely certain what it was he was doing. Maybe it's possible that the jar had already fallen and Marshall was okay? And that was Gant that she tackled? I'm not sure. But we're gonna get there. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. Yep. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? Objection! She was an ace detective! She never missed anything! I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. Ah, see? That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that? Objection. You've forgotten, Your Honor. When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh my goodness. Don't lose your dentures. Oh, there's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Doc downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jar? Objection! The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Oh. Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? No! The judge is breaking. The judge is crashing out. Wait. I'm not the one on trial here. Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. But why would Chief Gant do? Why would Chief Gant do that? He always asks me if I've been swimming. In light of what had happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason why Ms. Skye became the Chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Don't bite your thumb till it bleeds, girl. Please, sis. I'm trying to stop trying to protect the Chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that, coming from my own client. Guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth. What are we doing here? What are we doing, Judge? What are we doing? Wait a minute. And it's true. Do not trust guys in orange suits. Never. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? There's something wrong, Mr. Wright. Lana, you may be right after all. What do you mean, Wright? So you do tell foul lies! Rule number 12, defense attorneys tell lies. Ms. Skye, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Ms. Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will if you tell the truth. Very well, I'll testify about what I really saw. All right. The witness may testify once more, for the final time. Just don't perjure yourself any further, or I might be forced to look at you sternly. Say, has anyone seen my dentures? Alright, the actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought, she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if all it really was... But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. We're talking about... this? Oh. There it is. Maybe. Oh, why is this the opening of the cover? How, that's not how this has worked previously. Hey, there's a picture here. Yes, I just told you I gave it to you this morning. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. Why are we Google Moogling? Are we great Googly Moogling? No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. Mr. Wright! The piece cut out from his vest. Could that be? The cloth we found inside Gant's safe. What's this? Oh, so that's not Gant's vest. Are we sure? This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whosoever fingerprints those must be are the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints... they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. As long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Alright, we gotta suss out some more details here. You found it impaled on the suit of armor's sword. Hold it! Oh, I didn't do anything. Oh, hold it! Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Objection. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Holy cow, Edgeworth! No wonder they called you edgy in school. Gah! Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. His freakout is great. He goes like Super Saiyan. What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence, the one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? See, I think there's something sus going on with this. This is a handprint, right? Yeah, someone left an oil stain on the fabric. Whoever it was, they must have had a really oily hand. Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. Huh? The more likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor, getting wax all over their hand. Well, that would account for the amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though. It happens, you know. I always slip on floors at school after they're waxed. It's not relevant to this case. The problem is... Okay, so the current narrative is that Neil was stabbed in the back. Due to that, a knife tip was found in the wound. I think there's something crucial that we're missing. I still don't think that's actually the vest. Or if it is, and what's really pertinent here is it's a square, right? It's a perfectly removed square, which means that there's more. This handprint also, so if we're going based on that, right, the like slipping on the wax floor a bit, if she slipped on the floor, that would mean that she didn't make contact. That would mean that she couldn't have grabbed until after. I think I have to show the evidence. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence. Alright, the time has finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the Chief's. Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Wait, I need to check this photo too. Oh, there's no more details. Okay. But yeah, look at that. That's like a huge round piece. It's a piece of leather cloth? Yes. It most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. Well, okay, so it's leather. Okay, well that would have been a detail that would have been nice to know. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into that sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Wright-O has checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Ms. Skies. Ms. Emma Skies. What? They're mine? So I really did do it. See, I told you it was conclusive. Objection! But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that? But give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. Okay, so I want to say there's two things here that are like standing out to me. which are... So he's denying it was in his safe. Which, like, its presence in the safe is what makes it evidence pertinent to this case. By saying that he has no memory of it being in his safe, that it's not evidence, does not, like, that makes it easy to falsify that it's not real. But you shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Skye to Neil Marshall's death. No. It appears we have our killer. No. Oh. Oh, this is the bad ending. Oh. Oh. Oh, I lost. It kicked me to the menu even. Okay. Well, I'm so sorry, chat. We're gonna have to get caught back up here. I'm so sorry. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gent. You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. Oh. We're still gonna present this to the court, aren't we? We're, like, immediately about to present it to the court. But because he is now mad about it... conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Rabble, 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 rabble. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? We're gonna take him out to the ball game, chat. I was the first person to arrive at this crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Ms. Skye. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I had the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar, too? Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Wright-o, cough it up already, I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it, I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said... Okay, I'm gonna make a save here, because I'm expecting that I will be asked to present it again, and I still think the right answer is not yet. Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late. No, I really shouldn't have. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. You think I need to present it now? Well, the question is, what am I presenting? It has no bearing on the case. Not yet. 2 rules of evidence law. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Currently, the case on trial is the murder of Detective Goodman, and Detective Goodman's murderer just confessed to manipulating the whole scene. I cannot show it. No, it's too late to show the evidence now. Besides, even if I did, it'd just expose that poor girl's fingerprints. Right, think hard over the circumstances. The circumstances? I'm talking about then and now. There's one major difference between the two. Weren't you waiting for that difference? So, Edgeworth figured out my plan. Oh. Mr. Wright, this is your only chance. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. The difference between then and now. Is it that? There are so many, like, things going on. It has to be the cloth. I think so, too. But there's just so many things. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. At last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? I mean, you already know. You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong. Well, I can't lie. That's a fact that they belong to Emma. Take that! Emma Skye. Why did we say take that? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me? Ho 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 ho! You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. Hold it! How could you? You monster! Miss Sky, you knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. But I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter, cat? Got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? Ta-da! What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is. Okay, so the contradiction has to be that it was from the front, right? Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Oh. Oh my gosh, you're right. Well, I think that's the most likely right now. I'm gonna look over some other evidence real quick. But that's got to be it. Yeah, there's nothing else that makes sense here. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Ms. Sky took. Take a good look at it. Oh yeah, there we go. I wasn't seeing the blood spot like on the fringe on his left chest above his heart. I was only looking at the stuff that was close to his neck, and I was like, uh-oh, maybe he didn't bleed like that. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. This is relevant, I promise. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground when he was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ms. Lana Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago, that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! It's finally all over. Objection! Or no. Yeah, objection! Oh, that was close, Wright. You almost had me. Huh? Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Yep, here we go. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Urgy? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence to present at this point in time. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's not fair. Did you actually think that you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. Objection. I'm afraid Mr. Gant's claim is legally correct. The worst kind of correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, you admit to it. That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth. We're saving again, because the answer is, I did not illegally conceal it. But I admit, I refused to present it at one point. Ah, so the evidence is illegal. Objection! No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Udgy, don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward you can't really believe! Objection! There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. Behold! Duck Detective's Evidence Law! A textbook by renowned scholars. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence Law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the irrelevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall, when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. That he cut it out. No! It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's chest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murder, and there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer, was you. and other such laughter sounds. Knew I should have gotten rid of him. The good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Star, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. This cowpoke is almost at the end of the dusty trail. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then, all of a sudden, he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this evidence over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. Had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how could you get Ms. Skye involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out. So you take the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker. I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments in the glove. Yeah, it looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. See, what I don't understand is why he's completely just spilling the guts here. I kind of figure he'd stall a little bit. They all did their best to get in my way. Got to hand it to them. They did their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. Let's rule this criminal enterprise together as chief and prosecutor. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. My father's defense attorney practices have no losing cards, Chief Gant. Well, it looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, David Gant. I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for the memories, though. Don't worry, he'll be fine. Now you have Wright-o here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning. Of ace attorneys. Of justice for all. That's the next game, I think. Right? Yeah. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Ms. Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top. She's kind of got Mia's smile there. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Ms. Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. This guy. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor, and I know exactly who I want to be my defense attorney. Anybody other than Phoenix Wright. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Aww. Everyone to jail. Well, this trial has gone on for far too long already. Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Ms. Lana Sky, not guilty. Bring out... No, this is not an occasion for dancing lobsters. No dancing lobsters today. That is all. This court is adjourned. We are over. We are done. We have finished the incredibly long trial. February 25th, 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. At long last, it's finally over. Oh, goodness. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too. But Hannah didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals! Oh, looks like I am. Guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. My favorite trope. What is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run around while on duty. Again, my favorite trope. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Anna? Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't, lawyer. You and your sense of honesty and always presenting evidence when you're not supposed to. Gosh. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma. And then they hugged, and there was much rejoicing. And then they went on to become a detective and prosecutor duo, like the Marshall brothers. And everything lived happily ever after. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path. It is from there that we can move on towards a brighter future. Sometimes, I find you even have to get on to a Phoenix rightful path. Especially if you want to be an ace attorney. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe. But me? What's it to you, pal? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. Where was he hiding? Just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! Right. Well, I'll be going now. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth, not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. You despise criminals, I can feel it. You and me were the same. Okay, I'm skipping that. I'm not rereading every line of dialogue we flash back to 5 minutes after it happens. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my life, or entire life, to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma. But I already forgot what happened 5 minutes ago. No, Potato, remember, you're smarter than this. You were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I'd need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present the evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah, what is this, a pop quiz? And that's how I became an ace prosecutor! Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. Oh no, what's the correct evidence that we only found working together? We presented that one together. What is the, I'll admit, one half of it was Edgeworth and the other you. Oh shoot, you're right, that is it. Incredible. Okay. That has to be it. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Maybe someday I'll get to emit a victory whoop. But today is not that day. Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll excuse me, there are still loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. I'll see him out! Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened to kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright? Again. But what I face now is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Anyway, I'll see him to his car, pal. Woo! I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Duck Detective Scientific Investigation! Scientific Investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis, I will. Wow, that's the first book you ever bought, huh? Not even like a popular reading? No young adult fiction? Scientific investigation, huh? And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Look at that hug. Nothing bad will ever happen again. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself. And why I became... Well, don't go trek it off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But... I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at prison are a different story. Huh? Oh, right, he was fired. He doesn't even work there anymore. He just escorted a criminal out for no reason. Basically, I had to bribe a god in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, that was my last $30. First book she bought just means the first one she paid for? I mean, yeah, but like... Oh, she means she got the 5-finger discount potato. She's really gonna be fessing up to a lot of crimes. Yeah, well, you see, but Mr. Wright here's the one who'll be footing the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. $30? That's expensive. Huh? Huh? What? Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Here, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go to pay it off together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Objection! Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Roll credits again. Do 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 do. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. And I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. This was a lot of fun. This is probably my favorite case, even if it was like way too long. Way too long. Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. Just goes to show, you can't shake me off that easily. Also, like, he was a murderer, and we did get him, like, you know, thrown in jail. So that counts for something, I think. I always get a pay cut, baby. I'm excited for the next one, but I definitely need a break post Ace Attorney. This is a lot. For the rest of the stream... Oh, hold on. My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then they can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. But after this, I think I'm going to boot up kind of a cozy game I've been meaning to play for a while. And if we still have time, then we'll check out that demo for the lift. This cozy game isn't very long, so it shouldn't take too long. But yeah, it'll be fun. Oh, we still got the blue badger. Okay. I accidentally tabbed out for a moment. And I forgot that Ace Attorney just, like, goes black if I do that. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. No, why no? We're just gonna do some other stuff. Oh. Oh yeah, the blue badger broke. Yeah. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with the steak lunch partner? Mrs. Starr managed to sneak this in for me. She's one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Adios, amigo. Sayonara, as the Spaniards say. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer is sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller in no time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. That's right, gang. Don't eat things backwards. I will say, I did learn a little bit about the localization of Ace Attorney, and I guess they decided to make it America. I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after that trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel! Sorry, I gotta go! Chair swivels around into the back. Apparently the localization was a nightmare because the Japanese is riddled with just as much puns, but, like, if you just translate those literally, they mean nothing. Like, just gibberish. Like, Phoenix Wright's name, Ryusuke Naruhado, is just like, his name is something like Icy or whatever. I know we've discussed it in the past, but nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya afternoon training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. So I feel like there's a lot of things that I think they did really well in terms of the jokes and the message and the plot. But I don't envy them, and I guess them making it in America does ruin a few things, like the Great Ace Attorney, which is based on his ancestor, is like very obviously set in feudal Japan, and they go to England, and those are huge plot points of the location. But I'm excited to get around to that one eventually. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I brought you your tea. What's going on? Yeah, I think they did great. Also, these are long credits for characters that, like, some characters barely or didn't even appear in this. Wait, why are you getting on a train? Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. The train is going to Europe from America or Japan. Oh no, this is like that picture of the anime girl going to war, or like playing with the children, and there's like a war photo. That's cute though. That's a really cute police uniform. Emma is cute. They're both cute. Alright. I did it. We have risen from the ashes. The achievement told me so.